what I'm saying today, it might be excessive, but deep down, let us not forget the roots. There is ample examples are there, ample opportunity, like situations there where we could get into such kind of situations. So to avoid all that, I think I want the central government to look at us, to look at the southern part of India, to make sure to notice our issues, not to ignore it just because our number of parliamentarians, number of seats are small in number compared to Uttar Pradesh. All these things, somewhere deep down, we are initiating a South Indian, a collective movement for the benefit of, for our rights of South India, to the central, to the North Indian leadership, especially, not to the people. People are always fine. It is only the North Indian political class. I personally feel you should understand more about South India, and that's what I'd like to initiate. And this is what I'd like to say. So then I would like to go for questions. Thank you very much. What's that? No, I'm fine. Sir? No, first my purpose would be, I would like to be visiting all the states first, as a part of a political campaign, and to convey our party ideals and everything. And first we came to Chennai, later we'll go to other parts of the state, different parts of the different states altogether. Then finally, at a later stage, then I'd like to come and meet each and every political leader here, to convey, and to bring back all of us on one single platform to safeguard the interests of South as one single block, which we want South India to play a major role in Indian politics, not as a Tamil Nadu, not as Andhra Pradesh, not as Telangana, but as one single South unit, one single South block. Otherwise, we would be losing a lot in the bargain.
So, sir, here, on your left.
Yeah, hi.
I'm Lavanya from News 7. My question is to you is, are you about to meet the political leaders today or in the due course? Or as well as Chandrababu Naidu has already met Stalin and he already met Mamta. So what would be your role in that?
It is not about, right now in due course we will be meeting, but not today. Today is, I don't know why it came that I will be meeting today, but today is more, I would like to convey myself, would like to understand, I want to make others understand what our party is. But in course of time, in due course, we will be meeting each and every year as the elections come more closer.
Hi, Pawan.
Because, see, let us look at Mr. CBN as a stunt force. He is at the verge of his retirement. Sorry. No, he's at the verge of his retirement. His son, though he never got elected for him, he didn't contest for Panchayat elections. He heads the Panchayat Raj Ministry. And he's a nominated candidate, so even in that case, it's hopeless for TDP. The future of AP will happen only through Janasena party, so all the leaders, that's what the reason I would like to convey. No, not necessarily, because we have to be a collective force. Not that not about one individual or one state should spearhead. It's not about one individual. It is about all of us put together to safeguard the interests of the South. Because who understands Jallikattu? One who is born and brought up here. They understand. As we being the Dravid culture, we understand so many things. And India is unity and diversity. We're killing that diversity. And we have to understand the cultural aspect of each and every state. And as being a part of one whole Dravid region, we understand more. And I think that should be the essential fiber which should connect all of us. Sure, I'll get back to you. Maybe the similar question will be asked by someone else, so I'll give the answer.
Hi, Pawan.
I'll give you 100%. I'll give you.
Hi, Pawan. This is Ram from NewsX here on your.
Sorry.
Hi. So welcome to Chennai. I have two questions. What we could understand from your speech that the dominance of the national political parties into the rights of the southern part. Are you insisting separate nations, compromising the southern state? And already there are parties, the prominent party DMK, welcome to that move. So what is your...
To have a separate country?
Yeah.
No.
Dravid Nadu, yeah, basically.
Dravid Nadu is an emotional concept, if you look at it. For me, it is, I want the India to be, one aspect who respects the diversity of our country. Never ignore that part. And last 2 decades, I think that has been neglected quite a lot. So I think somewhere it has to be stalled. And we should have to make sure that North Indian political leadership has to understand our sensitivity and our cultural understanding. They have to go through understand our deep cultural, or they have to understand our culture.
Yeah. The next question, we could see, many film stars are emerging in the recent times. In Tamil Nadu, even Rajinikanth and Kamala Hassan. Any chances of joining with them in the future?
See, when I started a political party, fundamentally I was never an actor. I happened to be pushed to be an actor. Fundamentally, always I wanted to work for people or some social issues, though I never knew one day it was going to turn into a political party. But as an actor, it's very easy to convey a story, to convey an issue, to solve an issue in 2.5 hours, a screenplay on screen. But in reality, you have to wait for sometimes you have to wait for an issue even for 2 decades. So it's going to take a lot of time. So any actor who comes into politics should have a great tenacity and a lot of patience, loads of patience, tons of patience is needed. And if someone has that, I think definitely they will succeed and they will go ahead. ஒரு நிமிஷம் நான் திருப்பி வரேன். நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. கண்டிப்பா அந்த பேச்சு கன்வின்ஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. இது but only through, you have to, you cannot make people trust through your words. It's only through actions, if you notice that. And I came into politics. On the time, so Mr. Chiranjeevi had a problem is about the people who were surrounded around him. They never had the conviction. But people whom I'm with, in generally, I'm a man of some convictions, and no matter what. In fact, as you said, BJP, I think someone said regarding BJP. And they did ask me to merge Janasena in the very first 2014 itself. The moment we finished election, they asked us, one of the leaders had asked me in 2014 to merge BJP, and which I said, if that is the case, there is a need for me to start a party. So this is what I exactly answered, and I'll take now a question, I'd ask you a question. Will I rally with BJP? In fact, I rallied with BJP in 2014. I expected a lot of good stuff from there, a lot of accountability, a lot of responsibility for people's issues. I'm quite disappointed with BJP. And everyone had elected Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi with a lot of conviction and a lot of admiration for him. Somehow, it was not really, maybe it didn't go up to the expected, what people had expected. And that is quite a disappointment for all of us. It's not out of 10, it's not some mathematics test or something to count. I'm not good at mathematics, but what I can tell you is they could not fulfill the promise. What they had, they could have said it even if they could not fulfill what they had promised, at least they could be accountable, at least it could have been a responsible manner to say that we could not do it. We could not do what we had promised. So at this juncture, see, even the other day in AP also I was addressing some meetings, so they were asking me, some Muslim community were asking me, I said, what are you BJP or not? So BJP is never a friend of mine or not even I had went against my own brother to support TDP and BJP, who was in Congress. So for me, Mr. Narendra Modi is not my brother or someone when I go against my own brother, definitely I don't mind going against him. But right now, to see it technically, even if I say right as of today, I said I won't go with BJP. Even if I say it, a lot of people might not believe, but the reason is, they had a greater chance till 2015 to become a formidable force in AP, but somehow they had lost the opportunity. Now, anyone who joins with BJP in Andhra Pradesh, it's a harakiri. So, So your technically your answer is no. Thank
Sir, this is Shrestha from India Ahead News.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to know your take on Mahagathbandhan and if you support the alliance.
Mahagathbandhan, because there's so many Mahagathbandhans. Which you're talking about?
The
South Indian, Mr. CBN's Mahagathbandhan?
Yes.
So the other partners would be Pan-Indian.
Pan-Indian.
So you have to understand, Mr. CBN is a great man. I'm laughing. It's a hypothesis. No, let me say so. No, let me say it. Mr. CBN, you know, I'm quite worried about him. He doesn't know when he'll become your friend and when he'll become your foe. So it's quite dangerous to align with him and to support him. So all the partners, whoever are going, and one day he's going to travel in. So it will be very dangerous for this to travel with CBN, because I didn't expect anything from him other than the well-being of the state. And because of Janasena, they could form the government. And they could become CM if he could ignore us. And we are not asking what we are asking. I didn't even ask for a post. I didn't even ask for anything. I asked him for reasonable governance, not even great governance, a reasonable governance, a little less corrupted governance, which they could not deliver. So this Mahagathbandhan today, man, for 3 decades they fought at Congress, for 3 decades. And at the grassroots level, people killed each other, people fought with each other, and people demolished and damaged each other. And today, what happened at the top level will not percolate down at the grassroots level. So that Mahagathbandhan is, it's going to be a failure. So what we see is, we need a third force coming up. 2019 would be the first year which will, the formation of third force will emerge. That is the platform which we are trying to create. Yeah, let me take this one. But I prefer to be away from both the national parties, sir, both from BJP and from our Andhra Pradesh perspective. What we had gone through and what they had done for Tamil Nadu also, I personally. I'm sorry? Neutrality. We want to create an equidistance. Yeah. In which way? In which way it would be? No, when I'm making equidistance for both, because in AP it is going to be a triangular contest in AP. So in which way?